Sensory processing is how our bodies and our brains make sense of and respond to the world around us. We're constantly bombarded with various sights, smells, sounds, tastes, and touches as we go about our day. We also have to process where our body and heads are in space and then figure out how to move about the world. And if that weren't enough to do already, we are also constantly monitoring what's happening inside our bodies. We have to notice and respond when we feel hungry, when we feel our heart beating fast, when our skin feels sweaty, and when our bladder feels full. We probably take for granted our ability to process all these complex sensations outside of us and inside of us at once, when in reality, it's a lot of complicated work that our nervous system and brains are doing 24/7. The truth is, everyone has a different threshold for various senses. Some of us like to listen to music when we work, and some of us prefer silence. Some of us find deep pressure relaxing, and some of us find it uncomfortable. Some of us love the twists and turns of an amusement park ride, and some of us feel woozy after riding in the car for too long. We can think of many examples of the ways in which our sensory processing differs.
Some things you might notice when there's sensory processing delays are a variety of different experiences and/or different behaviors. A kiddo that is a sensory seeker may need more information for their body. So those are the kids that you're seeing that are constantly on the go and they need to keep going, or the kids that need to have something in their mouth. They're also the kids that have a really hard time standing in line. They're always bumping into one another, not necessarily knowing the boundaries or their own personal bubble. They're also the kids that you take them into the grocery store and they have to touch everything that's near them. Those are the sensory seekers, that they need more information for their body. Then you have the sensory avoiders. These are the type of kids that they're trying to avoid different sensory information. So those are the kids that won't touch different experiences, always need to have their hands wiped even during eating, don't like to play with different textures. They may also have some food aversions. They don't like to taste or put other food items in their mouth. They're also kids that might avoid a lot of movement experiences. So they don't go on playground equipment. They don't like climbing up. They don't like taking their feet off the ground because that makes them feel unstable in their body. And then you actually have the kids that do both. Some are the seekers and the avoiders. So they may seek a ton of proprioceptive information, so that big, heavy groundedness, the ones that they're bumping into one another or always just kind of laying on their body. But they don't like to taste or try new foods. So there's a variety of different sensory things that we look at, and we try to determine what areas are impacting their function the most, because we all take in sensory information differently. The most important key factor is how much is that impacting our day-to-day life. As a pediatric occupational therapist, we have extensive knowledge in child development. That goes over both the physical anatomy as well as the neuroanatomy. That also includes much of sensory processing. With that extensive knowledge, what we do is we're able to really take in the whole picture of the child and take in the concerns of the family. We break down every area and every occupation, and that occupation goes from anywhere from sleep to going to school. And then what we do is we use modalities that are fun, because the biggest occupation for a child is play. So especially with sensory processing, we can use play as our vehicle to motivate kids to get towards that improvement and meet their goals.